into the water here in NEOM. And a good start in the middle of the pontoon by the Scorpions. A long, shallow run out.
And that's got to be Cassandra Beaugrand and Emma Jeffcoat there. They're both renowned for being very, very good at that run-in. Emma Jeffcoat from the shores of Sydney knows how to deal with these conditions. And the long legs of Cassandra Beaugrand, she can really get over those waves a bit better than maybe some of the other athletes.
Taylor-Brown there as well, Kate Woff. There is Rainsley, Beth Potter out of the water. But it's Emma Jeffcoat who has done the job and picked up the full 8 points for the Scorpions. By the look of it, and the first person out of, as Beth Potter comes in quick, first person to mount and gets out will pick up the short shoot, crossing the mount line, and Jeffcoat looks like she can do it for Michael Gilliam there on screen and the Scorpions, and she will. And a second Scorpion comes in as well in Beaugrand, but crossing the mount line first and therefore taking the first short shoot is Cassandra Beaugrand. Michael Thompson holds up the Scorpion sign, and Colwell is second. And first out onto the gravel. That's probably the first ever elite gravel triathlon in this format we've ever seen.
Is Emma Jeffcoat. Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see on that leaderboard on the side, third out the water still was Cassandra Beaugrand, which means that she will take the swim leader's jersey and that $15,000 from the race today.
It's only a one-lap bike, and it's a one-lap run, of course, 3 times. And onto the black carpet comes the cheater, Sophie Colwell, looking to secure that third place on the championship podium, and of course pick up the $20,000 US for the round win as well. Gets off before the dismount line, and she has to rack right at the back, so there'll be plenty of people to run through as she runs out and potentially secures the second of the short shoots for the cheaters. She will do, and likely she will have that herself. Of course, that'll be up to Annie Emerson. So Colwell crosses the line, picks up the second short shoot. One for the Scorpions now, one for the cheaters. Coming across the dismount line, it is the cheaters. Beth Potter can't do it for the Sharks. So only the cheaters and the Scorpions end up with the short shoot that can be used in the last run of the day. And more than likely, it will go to Taylor-Brown or Coldwell. Depends on what the team managers decide, and we'll keep you posted on that. Spivey comes in fourth. And fifth, sorry, behind Verena Steinhauser, who is also contending for the podium. Nicole van der Keys had a very good run. And Beaugrand has made up 20 seconds on that run.
Oh, you've got to think that that gives her the fastest run of the day and therefore more points. I say the fastest run of the day. Of course, we're not over yet, but with the Enduro, you do think that the fastest times we see come in round 1.
Non-Stanford, 40 seconds back in her last race ever. Kate Woff's dropped back to 16 seconds back over that run as well. The pace has very much been on. And Cassandra Beaugrand ran that, wow, look at those times. 4:57.9 for that run at a 3:06 pace.
3:06
Georgia Taylor-Brown was a second with a 5:10. So it looks like Beaugrand's got it. Head out of the water again, and everyone's following Sophie Colwell this time. It's Potter, it's Spivey and Taylor-Brown right next to each other, coming out at the end of the 4th discipline of 9.
And I think that's Nicole van der Keys, isn't it? Just trying to hold on to the back there. She was right on Taylor Spivey's feet for a lot of that swim, but seems to have just got distanced in the last 100 meters or so. So she really needs a brilliant transition now, because that pack is going to go. Those 4 girls, they're going to go up the road, and you want to be on the back of that pack.
You do not want to be isolated into the wind on this bike. We've seen it already, and we'll find out exactly how much power it took Sophie Caldwell. Non-Stanford yesterday said she needed to push 200 watts just to not fall over into that headwind, such as it was. And out they go. The 2 Taylors, after, well, 24 hours after Taylor Knibb won the 70.3 World Championships, we've got 2 Taylors involved in the SLT Championship race. And there they are out onto the gravel. Nicole van der Keys, Miriam Garcia there as well. Verena Steinhauser with a nice transition onto the bike as they head back onto the gravel once again. Steady as she goes down that part of the course. And Potter, well, I thought she would have been caught heading into the wind, and she probably did too, but she hasn't been. And when you look back at this time of the race, last time we had an Enduro in Munich, there was daylight between Taylor-Brown and everybody else, and that is certainly not how this one is shaking out at the moment as she sits in 4th position. All 5 dismount without too much issue, although there was some confusion there for van der Keys.
Beth Potter almost seemed a little bit unsure about which way she was racking her bike. Took a little bit more time than she's used to in transition there, just to get everything ready and set up so that she can have another great transition out of the next swim.
Casillas and Steinhauser all alone in 5th and 6th. 6th and 7th, sorry. And Kate Woff has dropped back to a group with Jean Lehair and Cassandra Beaugrand, 34.5 seconds back. But at the moment, it's all about Beth Potter. Well, there is your swim champion, and it says provisional, but it's been confirmed now. She will pick up the $15,000 for the best swimmer overall, and it looks to me as well like Georgia Taylor-Brown will clinch the $15,000 for the best biker overall, because she has held off Emma Jeffcoat in terms of the fastest bike splits of the day. But again, she won't be worried about that. She's worried about winning this whole thing.
But look at these girls now, all 5 of them swimming 5 abreast. Sophie Colwell was the last of the 5 to go into the water, and I wonder if that's why she's made that decision to go really wide to try and get herself back to the front of this pack.
And Emma Jeffcoat, who has been the ultimate team player for the Scorpions.
Yeah, she really
picking
has.
up a ton of points without figuring necessarily in the overall. She is done, as is Sophia Green.
Unsurprisingly, we were always going to see some eliminations from this, and with a front pack as strong as we've got there, those 5 girls, the way that they've had no let-up at all during this race, just means if you're a bit further back, you're going to get caught out by this 90-second rule.
And out the front, that's a great swim from Sophie Colwell, who went into the water last, comes out first. And look, she'll be thinking, can I put time into the bike? Do I go away on the bike now? Because we will get again to the pointy end now, and she knows she probably can't run past Beth Potter. She did outrace Taylor Spivey in a sprint at the end for 2nd place in Munich, but Potter is she's the shark in the pack, isn't she? And Taylor Spivey's like, would anyone else like to be at the front?
Well, I was thinking it was quite interesting, actually. Taylor Spivey has been on the front for the entirety of this bike leg so far. And if I was Georgia Taylor-Brown, that would probably have been a tactic from me to make Taylor do most of the work. But Taylor, as we can see there, got a little bit sick of being the only one pulling turns at the front. And so she's pulled over. We've now got Beth Potter back on the front.
And Sophie Colwell is going to take the short chute. There she goes, past. And the short chute is right there, meaning she can turn there. The others have to go down to the end and turn around. And there are your 2 championship protagonists.
Side by side, always the way.
Colwell, though, is at the front. She wants to wrap up a podium spot. She wants to wrap up the $20,000 US for the win. And then the 2 championship contenders right behind her. 800 metres to go. They head back towards home. And it looks like Georgia Taylor-Brown has done enough to distance. It's now got to be 50 metres back to Taylor Spivey. So Georgia Taylor-Brown now likely the 2022 back-to-back champion. Can she take this race win as well? Beth Potter is dropped back in 3rd position, and Nicole van der Kay is charging up to the back of Taylor Spivey. They're now shoulder to shoulder, and Colwell looks like she has dug very deep. Georgia Taylor-Brown looks like she has just started. She's going to break the heart of Sophie Colwell, is she? They come up head-to-head.
They're roommates as well, these 2 incredible friends. They've come through the British system together, known each other since they were in their early teens. So great friends. They've been sharing a room here together all week. So, you know, that could cause a little bit of tension later on today, I wonder.
She just looks so calm and collected, just like the T1000 marching down. She is such a cool customer, Georgia Taylor-Brown, and now they sight the finish. Beth Potter is struggling in the back, and she has broken Sophie Colwell Taylor-Brown. There is the trophy. She will put her hands on it again. Georgia Taylor-Brown, Olympic gold medalist, Olympic silver medalist, 2021 Super League champion, multiple race winner over the course of this season, and she will finish here in the desert with a race win to make her the champion once again. Georgia Taylor-Brown is your champion here in NEOM. Sophie Colwell comes in 2nd. What a race from her. She did so much work. She picks up the 15 grand for 2nd. Beth Potter comes across the line. Sophie Colwell will be on the podium, and in between the 2 Brits on your championship podium will be Taylor Spivey. What a shot that is, and what a race that was. And it came down to the last 200 metres between Sophie Colwell and Georgia Taylor-Brown, and as she has done so many times in the past, Georgia Taylor-Brown just had that little bit left in the tank. Beth Potter finished in 3rd, but of course finishes 4th in the overall. Taylor Spivey held off Nicole van der Kay. Miriam Casillas and Verena Steinhauser picked up key points for the Cheetahs, as did Jean Lehair and Kate Woff in 9th and 10th for the Sharks. So 50 minutes work and $35,000 US for Georgia Taylor-Brown, and congratulations to her. And there is your championship Series official leaderboard. We're going to have our championship podium in just a second. And Sophie Caldwell wrapped up third place on the podium ahead of Beth Potter with that second place. Taylor Spivey and Georgia Taylor-Brown were equal on 56 points, but it was Taylor-Brown with the win in the end who takes the overall and picks up a further $50,000 US. So that race was worth $85,000 US for Georgia Taylor-Brown.